21st of November 2024. Welcome to Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates. I'm your presenter Abdurrahman Yusuf. Tonight I've quite a full bulletin prepared for you, but lovely viewers, let's first have a look at the stories that are making our headlines. Opposition's Abdullahi Irro wins presidential election in the breakaway Somaliland. Tensions rise as Jubaland rejects Somali Prime Minister's electoral accusations. NISA arrests key Al-Shabaab medical support network. Over 427,000 displaced in Somalia amid conflict and climate shocks. Somali president reaffirms commitment to universal suffrage elections. Lovely viewers, now let's delve into our full bulletin. Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdullahi, leader of Somalia's opposition, has been elected president of the breakaway region of Somaliland, according to preliminary results by Somalian electoral body. Abdullahi, also known as Erro, of the Wadani party, received close to 64% of the vote, beating the incumbent President Musa Bihi Abdi of the Kulmiya party, the Somalian National Electoral Commission asserted. Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdullahi, leader of Somaliland's opposition, has been elected president of the breakaway region of Somalia, according to reports. Abdullahi, also known as Erro, of the Wadani party, received close to 64% of the vote, beating the incumbent President Musa Abdi Bihi of the Kulmiya party, the Somali National Electoral Commission announced on Tuesday. Voters in Somalia's breakaway region cast their ballot last week in an election that was delayed for 2 years due to lack of funding and other reasons. Abdi, who was seeking a second term after 7 years in office, trailed badly with 35% of the vote. Both candidates have campaigned, promising that they will resuscitate an ailing economy and push efforts to gain international recognition for Somaliland. Somaliland, which declared independence in 1991 as Somalia descended into conflict, has built a stable political environment in sharp contrast to Somalia's security struggles. The self-proclaimed republic sustains its own government, currency, and security structures. However, it is not recognized by any country in the world, restricting access to international finance and the ability of its 6 million people to travel. The government in the capital, Hargeisa, hopes to soon finalize the controversial deal that will grant neighboring Ethiopia sea access. In return, Addis Ababa will provide an in-depth assessment of recognition. The deal aroused fury in Somalia, which views it as a violation of its sovereignty and prompted fears of conflict. Ethiopia is a major contributor to the peacekeeping force in Somalia, fighting against armed groups there. But the agreement has drawn Somalia closer to Ethiopia's historical rivals, Egypt and Eritrea. Somaliland is also optimistic that the incoming Trump administration will revisit the United States' long-standing recognition of Mogadishu's sovereignty over Somaliland. Several leading U.S. Department of State officials who worked on Africa policy during the Republican leader Donald Trump's first term have publicly voiced support for recognizing Somaliland. The government of Jubaland has dismissed allegations by the Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre accusing the regional state of failing to honor agreements on unifying the electoral processes and transitioning to one-person, one-vote system. The remarks made during a public speech have reignited long-standing tensions between the Somalia's federal government and the Southern Regional Administration. The government of Jubaland has dismissed allegations by the Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, accusing the regional state of failing to honor agreements on unifying electoral processes and transitioning to a one-person, one-vote system. The remarks made during a public speech have reignited long-standing tensions between Somalia's federal government and the Southern Regional Administration. Prime Minister Barre criticized Jubaland for abandoning commitments made during the National Consultative Council discussions. According to Prime Minister, Jubaland's leadership was instrumental in drafting agreements to establish a unified electoral commission and implement nationwide electoral reforms. Jubaland's Minister of Information, Abdel Fattah Mohamed Mukhtar, refuted the Prime Minister's claims, asserting that the region's constitution grants it autonomy to manage its own electoral process. The minister also highlighted Jubaland's partial boycott of the National Consultative Council talks, arguing that the proposals presented did not align with the region's interest. The dispute underscores a deeper divide between Somalia's federal government and its regional states. While Mogadishu views electoral reforms as central to Somalia's democratic progress, Jubaland maintains that its constitutional rights to self-governance are non-negotiable. Adding to the complexity, Jubaland's Electoral Commission has confirmed that the state's presidential election will be held on November 25th, with parliamentary elections and leadership appointments currently underway in Kismayo. However, the process faces challenges as some candidates threaten to hold parallel elections independent of the current administration, further straining the political landscape. Attempts to mediate the growing rift have so far yielded little progress. Kenya, a regional actor historically involved in resolving disputes between Somalia stakeholders, has yet to resolve the impasse. In a significant operation, the National Intelligence and Security Agency (NISA) has apprehended 2 key operatives who were central to the logistic and medical support network for the Al-Qaeda affiliate group Al-Shabaab. Our reporter Abdirazak with the full details.
In a significant operation, the National Intelligence and Security Agency (NISA) apprehended 2 key operatives who were central to the logistical and medical support network for the Al-Qaeda affiliate group of Al-Shabaab. According to a statement released by NISA on Saturday, the first suspect, Koshin Muhammad Ahmed, was arrested for his role in overseeing medical facilities in Mogadishu that treated insurgents wounded in combat. He was responsible for coordinating the transfer of injured members to designated treatment centers, ensuring they received care that facilitated their return to the battlefield. The second individual, Kaise Farah Hassan, also known by the alias Ahmed Yare, managed the treatment of insurgent patients in Jilib district in southern region of Middle Juba. Kaise was responsible for providing medical care to insurgent fighters in the region, overseeing a network that ensured militants had access to continuous health care. NISA's statement underscores that the operation is part of the agency's broader effort to dismantle the support systems that sustain insurgent activities, particularly those that endanger civilians. The statement concludes by reaffirming NISA's determination to disrupt extremist operations and ensure that safety and security of Somali citizens.
Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has reiterated the federal government's determination to advance the democratic process and implement the universal suffrage elections by 2026. Speaking at a reception marking the birthday of the HM King Charles in Mogadishu on Wednesday, President Mohamud emphasized the critical role of the democratic elections in strengthening governance and fostering national development. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has reiterated the federal government's determination to advance the democratic process and implement universal suffrage elections by 2026. Speaking at a reception marking the birthday of HM King Charles III in Mogadishu on Wednesday, President Mohamud emphasized the critical role of democratic elections in strengthening governance and fostering national development. The president also urged international partners to support Somalia's effort to achieve political stability, security, and sustainable development during this pivotal period. Somalia's federal government on Wednesday overwhelmingly approved a landmark law regulating the establishment and the operation of political parties and organizations. This legislation is crucial in transitioning Somalia towards a multi-party democratic system. The joint parliamentary session at Villa Hargeisa in Mogadishu saw 177 of the 178 lawmakers in attendance voting in favor of the law, with 1 abstention and no opposition, according to the Speaker of the House of the People, Sheikh Aidan Mohammed Noor Madhobi. The United Nations Refugee Agency has revealed that more than 427,000 people have been forced to flee their homes within Somalia during the first 10 months of 2024. The UNHCR-led Protection and Solutions Monitoring Network, which has tracked internal displacement in Somalia for 17 years, reported a significant spike in October alone. Of the 66,000 people displaced during the month, a staggering 50,000 fled due to escalating violence and security. Southern Somalia's regions of Gedo, Bay, and Banaadir bore the brunt of the upheaval, recording the highest influx of the internally displaced persons.
The UNHCR-led Protection and Solutions Monitoring Network, which has tracked internal displacement in Somalia for 17 years, reported a significant spike in October alone. Of the 66,000 people displaced during a month, a staggering 50,000 fled due to escalating violence and insecurity. Southern Somalia's region of Gedo, Bay, and Banaadir bore the brunt of upheaval, recording the highest influx of internally displaced persons. The alarming surge underscores the persistent insecurity plaguing the country, exacerbated by the inter-clan conflicts, Al-Shabaab attacks, and political tensions in various regions. While conflict remains the primary driver of the displacement, climate-induced events have worsened the humanitarian situation. The UNHCR attributed three.
Lovely viewers, that devastating story from the UNHCR brings us to the end of our bulletin. I wish to thank the Dalsan Media fraternity for making this news edition a success. Have yourselves a lovely night and be blessed.